Well, Kevin, right now we're seeing some flurry showers coming in, as Bill was mentioning, and you can see behind me exactly what crews have on their hands. Not even for a minute, this sign says, obviously expressing the danger that sort of a situation can bring. This is where Lexington police are stationed. They are checking each and every car to come through this intersection. And it's tough to tell where the street begins and ends. It's this black F-150 behind me that's now in the middle of this investigation. Take a look at what these folks left behind here. You can see a signed basketball, candles still lit. Well, the Bourbon County Colonels are getting ready for their big season opener this Friday against Estill County, but they're taking time to remember fellow athlete Michael Barnes. We want to show you one of 22 rail cars here that have derailed. You can see they're all filled with coal and they're stacked up like dominoes. The motorcycle was traveling from Georgetown Road here on Spur Road towards Shamrock Lane. And the damage it left behind, well, you have to see it to believe it. I'm holding right here a piece of scrap that they brought out. Looks like the front bumper. The best discount is what you can get for free. Well, we walked around to see what exactly can you get for free here at the Downs. If you're a newspaper reporter and you come upon a town on fire, it seems intuitive that you'd get out your pen and your paper. But what if it were your office that was on fire? Well, Kevin, this is now a massive cleanup effort by R.J. Corman. You can see behind me one of the crews trying to pull this giant rail car out of the way. That's tonight's LEX 18 big story at 11. Living just yards from the tracks,
The train come through late today.
people in Bluegrass Trailer Park expect a lot of noise.
It sounded like it last night was going to come through the kitchen, and today it almost did.
Now what generally keeps its distance is mangled, dumped, and dug into their front lawn.
It's a mess. I've got coal everywhere. And the train, it's in the yard over there.
Just after 4 p.m., 21 of the 107 coal cars carrying 100 tons of coal each and heading towards Maysville derailed, crunching one another in a massive pileup.
It was loud. All that metal hitting together, it was loud.
Spilling coal over 600 feet of track.
A lot of money sitting in the yard.
All while neighbors watched in terror.
It scared us to death because I thought, oh, Lord God, it's going to come on in the trailer.
We heard something break about once, twice, and all of a sudden you seen this car start piling up. Got so close where we had to run off porch.
There's a high bank there, and that's what stopped it.
Now there's a lot of cleanup to do and a lot of questions left to answer.
What happened? What made it wreck?
Again, you are still looking at this cleanup, which is expected to take a while to finish. Still no word on an official cause. That will also take a few days to determine. There are a lot of factors and possibilities here. Everything from the track having an internal error, we're told, to the train operator potentially making an error himself. R.J. Corman will be here overnight, we're told. In fact, they say that they'll be here straight through until all of this is cleaned up. We understand that could take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to complete. It's a riverside town, so people here in Sawyersville are used to some seasonal flooding. But after 3 inches of water in 6 hours, people here are underwater. What do you do when your road becomes a river and your front lawn a lake?
6-7 feet deep, something like that.
For most here, you watch and you wait.
205-15, go ahead and do it.
That's unless you're part of this rescue team.
Well, we're working on 24 hours right now without really any sleep, no dozing.
Working around the clock.
I'll let you know what's going on.
Helping people who can't help themselves.
Get you a status on that patient.
For others, braving the water isn't part of their jobs.
1:30, started rising, and it started coming in fast.
But today, none of that matters.
We're all like a family, and we've just all band together up here today to just try to save our jobs.
And whether they're watching or waiting,
I do anything for a Mountain Dew.
everyone here is counting the hours until the waters recede and life returns to normal.
Every time that people get flooded, they restart, rebuild, and wait for it to do it again.
And while this seems like a lot of water, emergency responders tell us that this is nothing compared to the flood of 2004 when there were 2 to 4 feet of water on top of this road. For now, they're just counting their blessings that it's not that bad this time around. We are covering the news in Magoffin County from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you. Crews who have been battling this 100-acre blaze all day think that they finally have it under control. And those who live on the fringe, well, they're just crossing their fingers.
Just hitting very, 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 very hard. Their yard is filled with smothering smoke.
I mean, the whole back is just engulfed.
But for most of the day,
it's right on the doorstep.
Leaving their watch hasn't been an option.
I've had the water hose out all evening.
A 100-acre forest fire was ready to take this house and a dozen others.
I thought that was going to burn my swing.
But firefighters and forest rangers got in the way, shaving a path between danger and what's still intact.
It got to the fence.
But there's still work to be done here. Just down the street, it's picked up again.
Old holler tree, and it's got up inside of it, and if it falls, it stands a good chance of falling in this man's yard and maybe setting his house on fire, so we're going to try to get it knocked down.
More frustrating than the flare-ups themselves is the reason for it all. Crews say this blaze was intentionally set.
Don't set the woods on fire. It costs too much money and too aggravating to put out.
The news is infuriating for the Gabberts as well, but at least they're okay for now.
The Forest Service and the fire department says that we're safe, so we've got to believe that and be careful.
While it seems things are under control for tonight, crews will be on standby throughout tomorrow, ready to respond in case anything flares up. With a rip, a roar, and a rally.
Big crowd, it's good weather, first ball game of the year.
It's football time again here at George Rogers Clark.
Well, we know we got to go out and battle. We know Bryan Station's an awful tough opponent.
But tonight's game is about more than touchdowns and penalties. Everyone here is thinking about the Cardinal missing from the field. 17-year-old defensive back and wide receiver Michael Barnes.
Number eight, we've got number 8 and number 8, just all about him today.
At first, there was a question. Would the team rally? Could they come out and fight in his absence?
You got to still be able to do your job, but play with emotion also.
The answer was a passionate yes.
It's like one family, and we're just going with him, and we know Michael's with them.
And everywhere you look, they're with Michael, too. His initials painted on the field, his number held high, his jersey filling the stands.
We're going to ask for a moment of silence.
We want to give back as much as we can to him because, you know, this is a family. This football team, especially the seniors, are a family.
And to Michael, his brothers in battle want to say, this celebration's for you.
We went out here and gave it 100, the full game, and this is for him. I love you, Michael.
We gave it everything we got for number 8. The MB out there. Wish I could get a close-up on there. Michael, hey, he's in our heart, man. He stays in our heart.
Covering the news in Clark County, Jackie Congedo, LEX 18 News.
Is she coming? The question they've asked themselves for 9 years is answered.
Yes!
Now, just an escalator length separates a mother, her 3 boys, and her husband.
Christine!
First contagious cheer, then an embrace.
Don't mind about the tear. This is the tear of joy, but I feel the way my son say, amazing.
Her husband is content to watch. Right now, his sons won't let go. It's been so long since they could do this.
This boy was here, a small boy of 6 years. Now look at him. Now this one also. He have this one. How do we call it?
Beer.
Beer.
Pierre was 13 when his mother was taken. In her place, he took his brothers and ran. The weight of responsibility was heavy. Now the burden is lifted. It's okay to cry.
At the same time, it's very emotional because I don't know how to compare. This is probably the greatest day of my life and greatest thing ever.
Now it's his turn. A husband and a father who never gave up hope.
9 years and 1 month and 4 days today to me to see my wife. That is the miracle of God.
It's that steadfast faith he'll now get to share with her.
I have nothing to give to you, but this is the word. Will keep you, will take care for you here in the United States of America.
It's overwhelming, but not insurmountable, now that her family is there to pick her back up.
Now I have courage. Yeah, you know, mother without kids, how you feel, and how it is. Now when I see my boys here, I'm happy.
Well, each spring, people come from far and wide here to Keeneland, and so do the horses they come to watch. But before hooves can fly across the finish line, many need a pair of wings to get here. At Lexington's Bluegrass Airport,
hopefully everybody's here.
The prep process is in full swing for a high-profile arrival.
We check everybody that goes in and out. How you doing, buddy?
Security is tight. A plane full of world-class athletes is on its way.
Right now, we're just waiting for the plane to get here, and as soon as they do, we'll have lots of action.
Game time as the jet cruises in. The stars on this plane don't like to wait. They demand snappy, professional service.
You're not going to see LeBron James riding in coach class on Southwest. Same thing here.
You could call him the head steward on this flight. Mike Payne is his name. Flying horses is his game.
You can tell if someone's paying attention to you because when they ask you what you do for a living and you say, well, I fly horses. And they're like, wow, what? Or they say, oh, well, that's nice, and they turn their head. Well, you can tell they didn't pay any attention to you. And then they'll come back and say, what did you say again? Or what did you say you did again?
He and his crew at Tech Sutton Forwarding Company have the routine down.
We're the largest carrier of horses by air in the United States.
Today's flight is full, 20 horses all the way from Ontario, California. 18 will race at Keeneland.
These horses basically went from Santa Anita and Hollywood Park to Keeneland and Churchill Downs in about a 6-hour window, stall to stall.
It's fast when compared to a 3-day drive, and included in the airfare is a complimentary in-flight snack.
Keeps them occupied. It's more of a pastime to munch on the hay.
The goal is to keep all passengers pacified.
Horses are never polite, so if you upset them, they immediately, they start whinnying and screaming and stomping their feet, and the whole airplane shakes.
Captain Eric Lund is well aware the cargo he's carrying can sometimes be worth 100 times the value of the plane itself.
I've had as much as $250, $300 million worth of horses on a $3 million airplane.
That means it's his job to keep it boring.
If the turbulence is bad enough or things are going to be too rough, we just send them back to the barn. Go a different day.
Hardy, Philly!
One by one, the trip down the ramp and directly into the trailer is fast and orderly.
We need this one over here and that one back there.
Because when one goes, his neighbors like to follow.
Because their buddy has gone, they think they need to go too.
That's not to say there isn't room for a little horsing around.
Yeah, we like to keep it fun, and there's a lot of camaraderie in it.
And after all the celebs are loaded in their limos and the plane is, well, serviced, this crew will load up and take to the skies again.
Today we're just moving horses. It's a barn with wings on it.